Hata looms before him. I wonder if you know what truly lies ahead for you, Gabriel, what God has in store for you. The land of the Lycans. This ruined city now belongs to their lord, and you can be sure he will not allow...
Okay. So this section's pretty basic. You need to get a hold of the warthog. He's going to come out. I've debated kind of methods in order to get rid of him. You could use the hurricane in order to kill him quickly, but I think Ultimate Shadow might be better just because all you need to do is kill the pig. You don't need to worry about the other guys as long as you get a hold of the pig. It happens in 3 attacks of Ultimate Shadow, which isn't too bad on mana. I did find out one time when I was running this that I was able to immediately hit the door and then get a second hit immediately after. I don't know what triggered this. As you can see, it sometimes doesn't work. But it did happen. I just don't know how. Oftentimes the warthog will drop something useful, so... Like this one, it was a fairy, which isn't that great. You double jump up here. Sometimes you catch that one, it's not a big deal, but you get up. Double jumping to this one, I'm not sure if it really saves that much time, but I do it anyway. Okay, so here's the big thing. This one you do not need holy water to do. What you need to do is you double jump towards the screen from here, basically parallel to where this place comes out of. You can do a single repetition of avalanche punch into landslide punch and get out of bounds, but I find it's more consistent if you do 2. Once again, you're doing the turn on the second one. Sometimes you land out of bounds still kind of in the stage, but that's not a big deal. You should see these roots run up and right from here, and you should run into these roots. When you come up to here, you can kind of run straight up, and you'll be able to see it. If you need a positional cue exactly where you're at, you can do, you know, light or shadow. But that's really kind of unbeneficial because of how much how much light magic you're going to use in this next section. So the basic principle is this: is we have the arena that's above us, and if you look towards the upper middle of the screen, there's the lever that we use in order to activate the switch, which is kind of towards the left of the middle in the far background. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get to the back of the arena, which if you look to the left side of the circle, you see the archway there. That's the gate. We need to get on top of that gate and jump off from that side into here. If we jump off from any other section to get back in bounds, there's a good chance that we're going to trigger the arena instead. This is a pretty hard trick, and it's going to require a holy water as much as I can say. I remember one time getting it with no holy water, but that seems incredibly inconsistent. It's more likely that you spend 2 or 3 here, it seems like. If you did want to just trigger the arena, you can launch near the front here, where it starts. You might even be able to double jump. Let me see if I can double jump towards it. Okay, I can't double jump towards it, but you can jump towards this and do some extended launches, and it'll trigger the scene. I guess I could just do some normal stuff first, and then if I fail at it, then I'll go ahead and do that. So you want to try to find some place where you can get on top, and just to kind of explain this, as I'm coming up, you can see that there's a little section of ground on the side of the arena. You need to land on that very small section. If you're too close to the inside of here, unfortunately, you can be underground, and you can't get around from there, and there's really not a great way to recover from that. You just have to start over. A good way to tell if you're in a good position for this is by the second repetition of Avalanche Punch, you should see your character. Unfortunately, you can't really make the best use of that, because more likely than not, you're going to have to use holy water after your first repetition. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. See, I'm just landing just out of range of it. There we go. See? So that time I was quite a bit closer to where my destination would have been. But as you can see, it's pretty hard to do. However, if I do use holy water, it doesn't make it a guaranteed, but it will make it a lot easier. And then you can always end off with a landslide punch and try to get on top there. See, I still failed even after using all that holy water, which is dangerous about this trick. Absolutely. You can only get about 3 repetitions of avalanche punch as well, which is shitty. What's up, Spiderface? If I can find some way to make this more consistent, it would be very nice, because getting out of bounds is not the hard part, and once I get out of bounds and up there, it doesn't seem like it's that hard. I just gotta make sure that I'm careful, like I'm not just playing really loose. Here's an example of a 1 cycle, and that cuts down. That would save about a second, but is obviously less consistent. Sometimes you'll land like out of bounds but still on the map, not underneath it, and that would waste the second you would have saved as well. So it seems like the double's fine enough. But yeah, I believe I've gotten this once without using holy water, and I'm not sure I'm ever gonna do that again. Yeah, this is just really difficult to do. There we go. So I got on top. I used way too much holy water there, but this is the basic principle. You want to get on this ledge. You can do it closer to here. You might be able to do it on the backside as well, but I always do it here. But at this point, you hit an invisible wall here, and you just want to jump over this. If you fall into this gap here, this isn't a big deal. You just got to launch yourself up and do a double avalanche into landslide, which I just screwed up on. And do it towards the arch, because again, you need to get to the arch. Oh my god. And come in through the backside. I've never been here before, actually, so... yeah, this might be bad. Yeah, I might be screwed right now, but we'll find out in just a moment, I guess. Wow, I am caught in some type of nebulous region behind here. Amazing. And I fell down. But you jump around the back there, and you want to jump towards the screen, I guess, at that point. I don't know why I got kicked out of bounds, but it probably had to do with just some very loose landslide punching. We'll try this again, but that's the basic principle for this skip. Once you actually do get back in bounds and behind there, you want to go towards the center of the circle and pick up the lever. You can actually pick it up without seeing it, and it's probably better to do so because, number one, it might save some time in run time, and number two, you don't want to trigger the middle of the arena or else you have to fight it, and you just wasted all that holy water for nothing. Ugh. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and trigger this scene just so that I can prove that it actually does work. So if you ever do get stuck, you just need to get a little bit close here. And you should be able to trigger it. And that's a backwards double jump. Or a high backwards double jump, and I was able to trigger it. So that's the backup strat if you just cannot get that to work. I think the arena probably takes around 1 minute to do, between the goblins that you have to fight and the werewolf. This is an example of being... okay, I guess not. I was going to say this was an example of being inbounds while out of bounds, but... there we go. But yeah, just try to get an idea of where you are here, and you should be alright. You'll notice there's like a stone block also when I was passing by the second bit of roots. When you're underground here, it almost seems inconsistent, your height. You'll notice that things are like wiggling and wobbling. I've hypothesized that there might be certain times where it is better to kind of wait until you're at a more stable height before continuing. But I have no idea how you would force that. Yeah, and this is just... yeah, this is just being a piece of shit. Ugh. The unfortunate thing is this thing saves enough time that it seems like it's always worth trying to go for it. Especially this first part. This first part 100% is you want to do it. Because it makes it so that the only thing you have to do is fight the arena at the end. Everything else is bypassed, including a long climbing section. So if all you do is this section, it's still worth it. There we go. Having the holy water land on this upper section is kind of a giveaway that you can landslide punch to it at that point, but it can be hard to do that at times. I was seeing if I could maybe one-cycle it. So once you get on top of here, then it's just a matter of double jumping back inside. And it'll change the camera angle here. Try to aim for this thing if you can. And once you do, you come in here. Once you get to about, here or so, you can actually grab, and then you want to just immediately go up and right. And it's the right side of the horn. Left for the bull itself, I guess. And you go clockwise.